Ek weet hy nie baie hier daar in die kar nie. Ek het nou myne van al diskussie.
Die laaste ding is aan.
Kom hier na toe sonder. Ja, so. Jy moet 'n bietjie kom kyk.
Ek roep, maar niemand kom. Staan wie?
Ek het nie 'n baadjie nie, jy het nie 'n langboord.
Ek dink ek wen. Asai, welkom hier so by Howard's Farming in Hotspots, 'n Collaboration Auction, en ek sit hier so saam met die span. As jy kan sien, sit ons met Johan van der Nest, Christopher Rau, Marius Barkhuizen wat homself ons vandag leen, en dan ook Stompie. Ons gaan so 'n bietjie gesels oor die veiling, maar ons gaan ook praat oor die bees, gesondheid van die bees bedryf op hierdie stadium, hoe dinge lyk, en ons het laas jaar eintlik gedink dit gaan 'n moeiliker jaar wees, en ek dink die stoetbedryf veral het onder omstandighede ongelooflik goed gedoen. Ek sal 'n bietjie later mee daarin gaan kry, en dan dink ek die Borane het baie sterk gestaan in 'n moeilike jaar, en dit lyk nie of dit hulle terugstaan hierdie jaar nie. Welkom almal, dankie dat julle instaan. Ek weet dit is van skou Christopher, maar daarom is jy sterk. Christopher, ek gaan sommer by jou begin hier reg langs my, en ek het vir vandag vir Ian Kolyn gevra om my bietjie te gaan stats trek op Meerkat oor die Boran veilings, en ons het gemiddelde gekyk, en in 2022 was die gemiddelde 5.2 miljoen rand per veiling, en laas jaar in 2023 ons gesit met 6.9, amper 7 miljoen rand, wat 'n baie sterk opkoms is as jy kyk. Meeste in die kommersiële mark het dit swaar gegaan, in baie van die ander dele van die stoetbedryf het eintlik swaar gegaan. So het eintlik sterk uitgestaan. Waarom skryf jy dit toe as jy net iets moet toeskryf dat die Borane net bly groei en bly nuwe mense intrek in die stoetbedryf en sterk staan teen 'n drukkende ekonomie?
Ja, Tinus, ek dink jy weet dis maar is nie altyd 'n maklike bedryf om in te wees nie, maar ek dink die Boran se sterkpunt is ek moet sê die samehorigheid tussen teelers, die vertroue tussen mekaar, om te weet as jy by 'n meerteeler koop jy sy beste diere. Want ek dink as ek vat deur tyd, as ek vat waar ons was, hoe lank 6, 7, 8 jaar terug in die tyd wat verby is en waar ons vandag staan, as ons kyk na die kwaliteit wat na veilings toe kom, daar is nie meer plek vir net 'n gewone dier nie. Dit wat ons vandaan hierso sien is ongelooflik. Jy kan elkeen van hierdie diere kan jy vat en dit is top. So ek dink die vertroue tussen teelers en die samehorigheid in ons genootskap bring 'n groot aandeel in die pryse wat behaal word. En dan nuwe toetreders, ek dink daar's regtig baie belangstelling buite. Die ras doen baie goed in Suid-Afrika, hy's aangepas en ek dink ons groei van krag tot krag. As kyk na ons lede wat hele getalle en ek sê altyd, gaan nie vir my herf hoeveel lede ons het nie, maar hoeveel diere ons op die stelsel het. En ons het laas jaar baie goeie groei in ons lede in ons diere getalle gehad. So ja, maar om op te som, ek dink samehorigheid en vertroue en kameraadskap en dit bring 'n groot ding in enige genootskap. As jy dit nie het jy moeilikheid. En die Boran het dit. Ons sê altyd ons is baie dinge, maar bang is ons nie. En ja, ons is 'n lekker span ouens by mekaar.
Ja, ek weet ek het lank terug met Stompie onderhoud gehad daarso by nasionale veiling te sê wel is 'n klomp lekker mense, as die mense nie lekker is nie, weet jy nie hoekom hy daar is nie. En ek dink dit maak 'n verskil as 'n ou by 'n veiling aankom en jy voel tuis, jy voel as mense wat jy kan vertrou. Christopher, ek gaan nou sommer reguit na die veiling toe spring. Ek wou net 'n laaste gelos het, maar terwyl ek jou nou op die lyn het. Jy kan amper, jy kan amper hier deurstap, 5 diere koop spoel en 'n massiewe voorsprong en as 'n teelery, want hierso is amper, hier's nie 'n dier, ek doen altyd my 3 tiks deur en ek moes 'n ander stelsel kry, want 3 tiks is nie sterk genoeg nie. Dis moeilik om te sê, weet jy wat, hierdie dier is beter as daai een. Hierdie is ongelooflik sterk veiling.
Ja, Tinus, ek het op my videoetjie wat ek maak vir my teelers gesê, moenie vir my vra wat 'n dier moet jy koop nie, want ek kan hom nie uitwys nie, is regtig. Ek wil vir Simeon en Stompie geluk wens. Ek dink dit is ongelooflik om te kan sien dat 2 kuddes by mekaar kom en nog steeds die eenvormigheid het wat jy hierso sien. Alhoewel dit 2 verskillende kuddes is. En dis wat ons het, en ek dink dit is deur streng keurings op plase deur jare en deur seleksies, en dis waar ons vandag hier is, hierdie 2 kuddes is, die een lyk, Simeon se bees lyk net soos Stompie se bees, en dis waar ons wil wees. So, well done met hierdie 2 ouens. Ek dink, julle hou ons ras se naam hoog, en ek dink elke teeler daar buite kan trots wees om deel te wees van hierdie genootskap en deel te wees van hierdie veiling môre. Die kwaliteit is ek het eintlik nie woorde, en dis 'n voorreg om deel te wees.
Dankie Christopher, ek en jy sal na die tyd ook so vinnig deurstap. So die manne wat wil weet wat hier aangaan, ek en Christopher gaan so 'n walkthrough doen, so Engels sê, dan gaan ons 'n bietjie kyk na die diere en waarna jy kan kyk as jy nou bulle en koeie wil koop vir al die manne wat ek dink gooi ons sommer aan die linkerkant van hier dat ons daar 'n bietjie met Marius praat. Marius, jy's deesdae baie meer by draadmaster stap daar rond, maar 'n interraskeerder, ken beeste oor Christopher het so vinnig daan geraak, maar ek dink ek wil vir jou vra, is dit wat jy ook ervaar in die veilingsbedryf oor die ruk, die mense stem deesdae met hulle geld. Mense sien dit eerlik en jy sien as jy kom na 'n veiling toe en jy het nie van jou beste diere op nie, maak 'n veiling dit eenvoudig nie meer nie.
Ja nee, Tinus definitief kwaliteit verkoop. Dit is deur en deur die jare bewys en ek moet die manne gelukwens met die kwaliteit wat hier is. Ek dink dit is uitstekende diere.
As jy het na die deur gestap, na die bulle gekyk, dit is om 'n Boran bul, ek sê Christopher sê hy gaan jou môre 'n bietjie meer leer. Hulle het nie baie bulle op nie, maar het wragtig sterk bulle op en so net nog so aan die einde van die seisoen as hulle nog ietsie moet doen of nog moet spoel en te kere gaan kan 'n bul nog werk. Wat is jou gevoel oor die bulle wat jy sien? Jy het daar maar 'n paar Boran bulle gesien. Is dit iets wat die ouens nou kan kyk as hierdie bulle wat die ding kan doen?
Tinus nee, definitief. Hier is verseker stoetbulle en hierso ek dink nie hulle hoef vir een tree terug te staan nie. Hier is regtig baie goeie kwaliteit diere. Diere wat vir ons genoeg manlikheid vertoon, goeie breedte regdeur, baie goeie toplyn, goeie diepte, bulle met goeie testes, goeie skeres, bulle wat vleis dra. En op die einde van die dag verkoop ons vleis en dit is wat ons wil produseer en dis verseker wat ons hier sien.
Ek gaan nou so 'n bietjie in die huisgenootkant van hierdie gesprek gaan. Jy ken nou vir Stompie en vir Simeon baie goed. So ek wil nou weet as om met 2 teelers van dit werk te werk, hulle albei neem ek het hulle maniere en dinge van doen. Maar ek neem aan jy as 'n keerder leer ook ongelooflik baie oor hoe elke ou na 'n ding kyk. Wat vat jy weg as jy van hierdie ouens of saam met hulle ry en saam met hulle stap? Voel jy leer ook en tap in as jy so deur hulle saam met hulle deurstap?
Ja nee, definitief Tinus. Ek dink as jy op 'n punt kom en jy dink jy kan nie leer nie, dan is daar fout by jou. Ek meen ons leer elke dag baie. Ek het my eie idee van hoe dinge moet lyk en ek het my eie prentjie. En as jy met die ander manne praat dan met hulle nuwe idees en goed en so vul ons mekaar aan en ja, nee, mens leer elke dag. Definitief.
Maar as ek sal nou weer by jou stop as jy daar so vir Stompie kan aangee, ons met hotspot praat. Stompie bietjie moeiliker om hierdie tyd van die jare veiling te hou, so oor Kersfees wanneer jy eintlik moet foto's neem 6 weke voor die tyd. So alles moes bietjie op die laaste sekonde gebeur, maar tog 'n ongelooflike ding wat julle bymekaar gesit en dit moet regtig, ek dink julle kan trots voel as mens kyk na die kwaliteit wat julle op 'n laaste sekond iemand 4 weke bymekaar gesit het om 'n veiling te hou. Wat vat dit vir 'n mens om te sê okay, ek hou saam met die grootste stoet in die land veiling. Hoe benader jy dit?
Ja, dat is nog 'n goeie vraag. Yes, ja, ek het daar op en af en deur die beeste gery en dan het ek 'n lysie en dan gaan ek weer terug kantoor toe en dink ek nee, yes, ek kan nie die nie of ek kan nie daai nie en dan ek het van daai 3-4 lysies waarop ek gewerk het ek toe op die einde van die dag gesê man, bogger dit vat ordentlike, vat regtig jou goeie goeders veiling toe. Mens kan nie kan nie tweede beste goed saam veiling te vat nie. So is eintlik vir ons 'n voorreg om saam met Simmy en hulle die veiling te hou en is vir ons lekker. So maar ja, dit ou krap diep uit jou uit die skatkisse uit daar by die tussen die beeste. So ek dink hy's regtig goeie beeste van ons kant af en van hulle kant af. Is die genuine goeie beeste.
Ja, ek sê hier van die beste beeste staan hier by ons. As jy so hier loer, as ek weet, ou Marius het hier so by 'n koei van jou stil gestaan. En dit het regtig hom uiteraard sê hier is nou vir hom 'n koei. Dis vir my nog verstappies nog baie ander om na te kyk. Maar dit is lekker om te sien dat julle bymekaar kom. Daarom ek hoef hierdie tyd van die jaar nie so hard voor te berei nie. Hulle kan op die gras loop. Dit is net 'n amper afronding wat jy doen vir die veiling. Wat ek dink op die einde van die dag die ouens help om die diere om aan te pas of dit is my gevoel wat ek kry. Sal jy dieselfde voel?
Ja, verseker. Dis eintlik amper moeilik geweest om die beeste af te rond. Hulle wil net in die veld loop. Ons het hulle letterlik 2 weke terug het ons vir hulle iets gegee dat hulle nou self net nie doodskrik as hulle in die hokke kom staan en daar is meer veld wat hulle kan vreet. So dis 'n lekker tyd klimaatsgewys en beeste se kondisie gewys om veiling te hou, maar tog moeilik soos oor Desember die DNA's en allerhande goedjies. Dit was maar moeilik geweest. Die veeartse trek bloed, dan sê hulle ja, maar die labs is nog toe. Stuur ou dit van na 'n privaat lab toe en goeie. So daar was 'n bietjie logistiek rondom die ding, maar dis eintlik regtig 'n lekker tyd om veiling te hou. Die beeste is van self regtig mooi. Die ouens wat hulle koop, weet die goed is nie vol kos gepompie. Hy gaan soos wat hy hier lyk, gaan hy gelyk by die volgende.
Stompie, jy het ook is al 'n hele paar jaar in, maar jy het ook 'n harde pad en 'n lang pad gestap saam met die ras. As daar môre ouens is wat kyk en sê maar weet jy wat, ek wil inkoop in die Boran ras. Ek stel belang, dit maak vir my sin. Die genetika is hierso. As jy vir so 'n ou met raad gee as hy môre hier kom, waarna moet hy kyk as hy wil sê ek wil spoel of ek wil vinnig kom waar hulle is? Want vandag die wetenskap en die klas van dinge maak dit vir ons moontlik om so vinnig voor te kom. Hoe kies ek my diere? Wat doen ek?
Ja, dis nogal ek dink elke ou kan ek dink voor jy begin moet jy 'n plan hê van waartoe jy wil gaan. Die help jy kom en jy kom koop uit blind en donder net voort nie, ekskuus by Afrikaans. Maar so ek moet met 'n plan kom, maar ja, as jy regtig met 'n plan gaan sit en die tegnologie is daar met die embryos. Eers ek en Simon praat ook gister of ek kan nie onthou wie ek gepraat het. Sonder embryos dit so moeilik gewees het. So jy praat van dit so moeilik gewees het om so kwaliteit veiling jaar na jaar vol te hou. Ek dink eintlik inteendeel dit sal onmoontlik wees. Jy vat daai top van jou en jy vermeerder hulle. So as ou daai embryo roete wil vat, moet jy genuine mooi kyk en as jy wonder of met jou hand nog 'n keer opsteek, dan moes jy hom al opgesteek het, want jy kan maklik foute maak met embryos. Jy betaal eerder 'n bietjie meer, dan koop jy regte goeders wat by daai plan van jou waarmee jy begin inpas en vermeerder daai goeders wat jy uit die blokke uit verkeerd begin en jy sukkel om dit vorentoe reg te maak. Dis 'n dieroefening daai.
Ja, ek dink hulle sê goedkoop koop is duur koop en ek dink die stoetbedryf is dit baie waar. Ek dink dit vat om 'n gemiddelde dier te kry tot daarso vat 5, 6, 7 generasies. Waar as jy gespoel het, kon dit baie vinniger gewees het en 7 generasies garandeer nog steeds nie dat jy daar gaan wees nie. Dit is nog steeds harde beplanning soos jy sê en 'n paar goedjies kan nog steeds nie gaan. Jy kan nog steeds 'n verkeerde bal gebruik een keer en dan is jy nog 3 jaar agter. So dit is alles goed wat teen jou kan tel. Laaste vraag voor ek jy laat gaan. Daar's sekere lyne waarna jy glo, waar jy gaan, maar ek weet jy het alweer nuwe planne. Maar dit is vir die ouens wat begin, hulle kan kyk na lyne wat en met jou praat en met Simeon en met Christopher praat en sê, weet jy, hierdie goeders beproef. As jy met hierdie goed gaan begin, gaan hulle gaan vir jou werk, hulle gaan vir jou deurgaan en jy gaan daai ek dink Johan praat altyd pre-potency kry en dit is op 'n vandag wat jy as 'n stoetboer wil doen, is daai weet wat sy vir my gaan gee.
Ja, verseker, as daar nou een ding is wat 'n feit is, bloed lieg nooit nie. Of dit nou in mense is en of dit nou in beeste is, bloed lieg glad nie. So ja, in koeifamilies is so belangrik. Ek vat Simeon hulle hierdie Kelly wat hierso staan. Dis jaar na veiling is dit amper die topgoed op die veiling en ek vat by ons, ek is besig om ons kudde te bou rondom die Zelma koei en die eenvormigheid wat ou begin kry met dit is net ongelooflik. So koeifamilies is ongelooflik belangrik.
Dankie Stompie, ek dink as ons hom vinnig so kan omgee, dan gaan ek gou my Engels warm maak hier langs my. Simeon, how you doing?
My Afrikaans is getting better while I'm listening, but no. No, we're good. Thanks, Dennis.
Simeon, you put up a good show here. I think I've never seen something like this before. But this is sort of putting the show to the right cattle together, putting everything comes together, and it just makes for an excellent evening and tomorrow night, and something that people can take home and say, yes, but this is what quality is all about at the end of the day.
Yeah, thank you, Dennis. I mean, we said it in the interview when we spoke, a few weeks ago. In our opinion, this venue was crying out for a nighttime sale. The inside of the venue, definitely for sure, but the outside of the venue, we needed to do something a little bit different, and I think, with a bit of planning and vision, we've pulled it off, and I think it looks fantastic. And then, when we top it off with the animals that we're talking about on display over here, and the quality and the uniformity and all the compliments that we are hearing through the panel here, I mean, because it's genuine. It doesn't take a rocket scientist, really, with respect, to walk through here and say, but what is this? This is a quality offering, and these are good cattle. So, yes, we are very proud of what we've done, what we've achieved with the team that we've got behind us. I mean, the whole bullring team literally is a mini team within a team, and professional guys, and they've done it well. And then, to have operated with a partner in the sale with Stompie, and his whole team has been really a coming together of two dynamic forces with huge cooperation and huge team spirit. And it's been an absolute pleasure. There's been no arguments, there's been no bickering, there's been no, well, how much does this cost, how much does that cost? Nothing at all. There's been a vision, there's been a bigger picture, and really we're seeing it in today, and we're seeing it with all the people that have already made the effort to be with us, which I think is tremendous. It was one of our reservations, to be honest with you, which was, are we or aren't we going to manage to pull off a sale in Darvel at night? But we've hopefully outthought that idea, and we'll see by the response tomorrow, but it's looking good for now. So in general, I think, we hopefully will get there tomorrow.
Just before we started, I think 2 minutes before 7, we had a quick look on Meerkat online, and the pre-bidding opened at 12, I think. And I think we're starting at a 1 million rand already, just under. One or two lots already close to the 100,000 rand, 100,000 rand exactly. That's the sort of thing that people they want to be part of it. It's sort of almost. Please don't forget about me. I'm gonna be even if I can't be at the day. I'm bidding and I want to take quality home.
Tennis, yes. So the pre-bidding is obviously running through Meerkat online. We did have a look. It is looking good. It's become, in the last recent years, one of the trends actually within the Boran, specifically, that there's a bit of interest and excitement and build up for the sale, and people start to show what's good and what's not. And I think it really builds a bit of energy. But, it's not always about the money. Some of the best cattle that we've bought on our farm have also been some of the cheapest. And yes, Johan van den Esten, he can attest to it all the time. He reminds me of a few bargains. So it's not always about the prices. It is a business, yes, we know that. And it is nice to see the reward coming through for the hard work, because to put an auction like this together is very nice. But as Stompie quite rightly said, it's years of planning and thinking. And I mean, just to add on with what he said about the cow standing behind us, sure, it's a lot of years of putting together combinations and trying, and not all of them work either. So when you start to see them pulling together and getting rewarded by the market out there, then that is a business, which is what we are in. And it is nice to see, but as I said, it's not always about the money.
Exactly where my next question was going, so thank you for that. About 10 plus minus 10 years ago, the Boran breed was in a different place, a tough place. A lot of people were actually getting out of the breed, selling out, and guys like you and Stompie said, well, I know, especially on your side, you bought out a lot of herds. You went to sales and you took some of the best cattle there. From a business, and this is a businessman perspective, how did you come to buy and say, listen, I'm going to put my faith in this breed, and I know it's going to turn around, and it seems like it works for you 10 times over. But how do you come to something like that and say, but I'm going to trust this breed all the way?
Dennis, it's a good question, and it's actually answered with many different answers. One, there was a bit of a nostalgia behind us. It goes back, 30 years already, with regards to being involved in this particular breed. That's number one. Number two, regardless of market trends, regardless of prices, the worldwide population needs to eat beef. They need a protein source, and this is one of those protein sources. Number three is one must farm with something that's functionally adaptable, that's going to give you a return, no matter what the current price is. There's, what the market price is. There still has to be some sort of underlying benefit and value to the product that you're farming with or you're in business with. And for that, it's a no-brainer. These are animals that certainly adapt and did very, very well for us on the Highveld, regardless of the nostalgia. So on that basis, it was almost, why to change? Why to change? They're doing well. They are a beef animal. It's not a fashion statement animal. So, every animal and every breed will go through ups and downs, but to remain in it is part of the game. And we know that from the feedlot business as well. If you want a volatile industry, then the feedlot industry is one to also be a part of. But, you've got to be in it. It's a game of swings and roundabouts, and the wheel does turn. We've seen it. Yes, we took the view to continue buying and to continue supporting. Yes, we bought bargains. Yes, we managed to take advantage of the economic trends. And yes, we stocked our farm. But, it's been good thinking, I think, good decision making. The quality is there, speaking for itself. And as I touched on earlier, it's not about the pricing. So there's an example of market trends, but still the cattle were good and of no difference and no inferiority to what we see today or in any other production auction. The cattle are the cattle. Yes, they are improving day by day. Yes, selection is helping. Yes, better bulls are entering the market. And sure, it will improve itself like anything else will. Cell phones as well today are a different story to what they were, 20 years ago when they came out. So all of that seems to blend its way nicely together. But you need a little bit of faith. You need confidence, self-confidence. You need the ability to pull off, something like we're sitting at a venue today at night under the stars when you've heard the story, when a lot of people told us in the beginning, why build another white elephant? Why? What for? We'll put up a tent and, do your thing. But we didn't want to. So you do need a little bit of self-confidence and hopefully some luck as well.
Simeon, I think from where I'm sitting, it's one of those things that any stud breeder needs to understand. If you want to be a stud breeder, you need to be able to wait that 5-10 years to make a return on investment. It's not something that you're going to make in 3-4 years. Yes, you might get to a good place, but most of us, or most stud breeders, it's going to take 5 years to get a decent start. It's going to take a few more years to market yourself to a point where people can trust your brand. And that's something that you and Stompy has done immaculately well. If we look over time, just the marketing behind what you guys do. And as someone who said to me, there's a difference between marketing and bragging. And I think both of you could get that line quite right. We just say, this is my animal, take it or leave it. It's up to you.
Yes, and it touches on with what Stompy said earlier. You need a plan. In anything, you need a business plan. You can't go to a bank today for finance and just say, how's it, I want money. They're going to ask you for a plan. So why should there be a difference with regards to cattle farming? So yes, Stompy's quite right. You need a plan, you need a vision. Whether it works or it doesn't is a different question, but it has to start with the drawing board. But to add on what you're saying about marketing, branding, and trying, I mean, the guy on my right over here, Johan, who at every one of our production auctions I always say is like a silent partner. Not a shareholder, but a silent partner. Shareholders have to enjoy the liabilities also, Johan. But no, I mean, how did this sale actually come together, and how was it born? And that was out of Johan van der Nest's idea, to be honest. Because I phoned him up towards the end of last year, and I said, Johan, I'm not sure about the February sale. It is booked in the calendar. I'm giving you the heads up in case you've got another client that wants to take your date, because, I mean, to get in with this guy is very impossible. So he said to me, hang on, before we make any rash decisions, I have to bounce my ideas off Johan over here. He says, before we make any rash decisions, let me give you an idea. And let's make a sale with Stompy. You are the two herds. I'm sorry to say this, Johan, but I don't know if I'm allowed to, but I'm going to. You are the two herds, in his opinion, that are really putting in effort into this breed. You marketing, you back your products, you guys do well. People know you. You've got good names in the industry. You synergize together. You know each other. In my opinion, being Johan's opinion, I think we've got a good idea to make a blended sale between you guys and think about it. So I said to him, on the phone, there and then. I've thought about it. Good idea. Let's do it. Just like that. And then we phoned Stompy up. 10 minutes later, he was running around the game reserve with Elrie. And that was the sale. And that's how it began. And that's how it ended. A WhatsApp group later. And here we stand and here we sit. So that takes the marketing, the visionary, the blending, and being able to work with people that you know, like-minded people. Not always easy to find, but like-minded people. And hopefully, as I said, we don't know what happens tomorrow, but the cattle are here, and the buyers will hopefully be happy with them.
Thanks, Simeon. I think you gave Van der Nest a great introduction now, so I can hand you the mic over to him. Yo. Johan, ek weet jy droom vir sulke goed. Ek dink jy hou daarvan as mense daai ekstra doen, daai meer doen, daai net wil wys, dit is vir die moeite wat ons insit. En ek weet jy's 'n man as jy boer self, dit doen jy in oorgawe. Jou veilings wat jy doen jy in oorgawe, en ek weet almal wat laas jaar by die Boran nasionale veiling was, ek weet nie hoe jy by 120 lotte uitgekom het nie, want ek was naderhand moeg. My ore was seer. En daai stem van jou hou net en jou energie hou net. Maar hierdie energie moes vir iets anders wees. Ek is bitter, ek is kinderlik. Ek sit hier met hoendervleis en dis nie net die koue nie. Maar dis regtig iets ongelooflik. Hoe kom jy op sulke idees? Want dis nie jou eerste enetjie nie, is dit?
Yeah, I suppose it comes about with knowledge and experience in this business for 35, almost 40 years now. And my life and my passion is the cattle industry and the stud stock industry. And I partner, as Simeon said here, with every breeder that I'm having a sale with. So this is my business. It's my livelihood. And I'm innovative about that because I want to build for the industry. And I'm in love with the breed of the Borans. As you all know, I've come with the Boran breed since the beginning. And I really like the breeders in the Boran breed, like Stompy says, lekker mense. And yeah, I've got a passion for the breed. I've got a passion for the people. I've got a passion for the business, and I've got a passion for my career. And the happier clients are, the better the business is. And as Simeon said, it all goes about a plan. So your mind spin, and I think I spent most of my life on the road, all by myself. And there's a good, nice word in English, they say you skim. So I skim about the industry, I skim about the business, I skim about the success of my clients, because if they are successful, I am successful.
You're talking about success. The Boran's been extremely successful, and you've been a great part of it. I think you did about the auctions that I've mentioned. I think you did about 99% of them. So not only does the breed grow, you do as well. You've taken the breed, and some of the breeders, you do give advice. I know you've said to many of us, you've given me advice, and tell us this is where you should go. This is the way you should be thinking. We're sort of in a funny place in South Africa at the moment in politically. If you look at politics, if you look at world politics, you look at economies, people are not wanting to plant maize anymore with the high prices of input prices. How would you advise guys getting into, or as a stock breeder at this point, to say, this is the way I go forward, this is the sort of breed or the way I should choose my animals to make sure that at the end of the day that I can breed with a profit? Because from where I'm sitting, I can't see us feeding a lot of maize in the future. And I don't think maize is going to be that available for us to feed to animals. Do I see it correctly, or might I be on the wrong path here?
Yeah, let me answer that. This is 2024. And I think in the next 50 or 100 years, less grain is going to be consumed by livestock and more by humankind. So yes, we will have to start thinking differently, and there is a lot of people in that school thinking different already. But let me first start out by where you started with the question. In life, there's only one thing that's constant. It's change. And if you don't adapt to change, you stay behind. And whether it's politics or whether it's business or whether it's what, the future of our country and of the world depend on us as people. We are the people who are, like in my generations, we're growing older. We have to be the leaders. We have to be the people that initiate thinking between you younger people and younger generations. And we have to plan for the future. About the future of South Africa, as I've mentioned, there's change going on. It's constant, and it's going to be change forever. So we have to deal with how changes are taking place. And again, coming back about the economy, as you have asked and mentioned, Simeon said, well, we have to take everything in consideration. Again, get our business plans in order, plan for the future. And about the future of the cattle business, I'm very, very confident about that. Just here lately, we got again the news that we are exporting beef to the Middle East. The wiener prices has picked up. And I see the future of the beef industry as one of the good industries in the agricultural business in our country. Natural protein, you know what's happening all over the world. The population of the world is growing and growing and growing. And all the high potential soils are being used for grain production. And a lot of the land is being used, you know, where they develop housing for people. So only the extensive parts of the world is going to become the beef producing areas and the mutton or extensive livestock production. So in the long run, we will have to change our selection criteria to breed with cattle that will adapt to those extensive environments. And there are some already, and we're concentrating more and more in that direction. But what we've got to realize, the cow herd of the world is the beef factory. That beef factory has got to be an adapted beef factory because they operate out in the pastures. And whether it's here in the Highveld, or whether it's down in the Western Cape, or whether it's out west or in Namibia or Botswana or wherever in the world, in the semi-desertous parts of the world, we've got to realize that the kind of cattle that we're going to need to produce in that part of the world will have to be adapted. They will change as what we know all these big bodied breeds today. Can we go on in the dark?
I think we're going to have to.
Yeah, we're going to have to go on.
Dalk 'n mooier prentjie.
But in any way, yeah, we'll have to breed more functional, efficient, environment-adapted cattle for the extensive parts of the world. And we'll have to get that beef factory, the cow herd of the world, a functional, efficient one. And in the long run, like we were talking about grain, I think beef in 200 years, natural beef, will be like caviar. You will pay a hell of a price or a premium for proper organic or natural beef. It's going to be sought after because, like we've mentioned, that much grain that is used today for feedlotting cattle, or like we say, growing beef, is going to happen at that time. And we've just seen lately that Italy was the first country that has put a ban on printing beef. And I think that's going to be something that's growing in the first world. And because there will have to be a hell of a lot more research done to see how healthy that is for humankind. So the future of the beef industry in the next 50 to 100 years and in the future is solid. It's good. I've got confidence in saying that it's always been like that. It's the best protein source for us as humans in the world.
Johan, jy het al 'n paar veilings in jou lewe bygewoon. Ek weet jy het so vinnig hier deurgestap. Jou vinnig, jy seker 'n uur gespandeer. Jy is seker kinderlik opgewonde om môre op daai podium te gaan en te sê, jou diere praat vir jouself, want ek weet hoe ek voel, ek weet hoe ek sien. Dit is 'n tipe veiling wat 'n afslaer wil hê, waar jy kan weet dit wat vandag aangebied word is kwaliteit. Jy hoef nie vir een oomblik terug te staan met wat jy sê nie, wat jy voor jou sien, kan jy met vertroue verkoop.
Yeah, Tinus, let me change to English again because we've got an international audience. Simeon mentioned how the sale came together. And when we debated or discussed it, I said, listen, we have to have the best Boran sale ever in the history of this breed if you and Stompie is going to have this sale together. You'll have to go into your herds and you have to be prepared to offer anything in the top 5% of your herd. They agreed on that. And anybody who can come and inspect this cattle and who has inspected them, I think this is the best offering of Boran cattle that I have ever auctioned on my life or in my life on one sale. I must congratulate these two guys, Hurwitz Farms and Hotspot. They stuck with what we decided. What you see here is like I said in that invitational video. This is immaculate cattle. This is top genetics. It needs serious consideration by the serious Boran breeders. And I can tell anybody who's interested in top genetics, if you want to come and pick 1 or 2 embryo cows here tomorrow, you're going to have one hell of a challenge. Because I think there's about 34 animals that can fit here. There's, how many bulls are there? There's 30 females that can fit in any embryo program in this country, in this breed. This animals, this genetics on offer here, where we are sitting tonight, is, in short, damn good genetics. And I congratulate you guys, and I thank you for putting this animals in the market and making them available to the market. And I hope that the market and the breeders of the Boran cattle in our country will appreciate it and make use of this great opportunity.
Thanks, Johan. Okay, from my side, I want to thank each and one of you, Stompie, Marius, Christopher. Thank you for sitting in, giving us your opinions. It's been great. Simeon and Johan, always a pleasure, and we hope we can do this again soon. From our side, thank you very much for having us. For me, it's always a pleasure sitting here at the Boring and working with guys like Stompie and Simeon. It's an absolute pleasure and an honor to be here. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. If you can't be here, tune in at Meerkat. You can be there online, or I suggest fill in that form at boranauction.co.za and make sure you come and visit us tomorrow. It's going to be brilliant.